Alright, I've never done a repair video before. This will be my first one. And the reason is that for this particular repair, I searched on YouTube and became more and more confused about what everyone was saying. The biggest thing was that for this particular model Jeep, I know that there are several different light configurations, and none of the videos were clear about which one they were working on. So we're looking at a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude trim level, and the lights look like this. The one that's burned out is the low beam, which is from the driver's side is the outside one. I've got the low beams on. You can see what the other side looks like right now with the lights on. The outside bulb is burning. So I went to the auto parts already, bought a bulb, but it's not clear really whether I got the right one or not. So I'm going to dig into this, and hopefully you can follow along, learn with me. So I don't know what I'm going to get into here, but hopefully everybody else can learn from my mistakes as I go along, if I make some, which I probably will. And also you can see that if you have this type of light configuration, this is what you're looking at. So I'm going to open up the hood here so we can get some light in, and we can see what we've got. Okay, this is what we've got inside the hood. You can see the lights housing here, air box here. There's a snorkel here for the intake into the air box. So obviously a whole lot of obstructions that makes it difficult to get your hand into the back of the light to reach the back of that bulb. Now I'll point out that some of the instructional videos, and certainly when they're talking about the passenger side, they discuss this, probably too dark for you to see, but discuss this access hatch that's inside the wheel well. For whatever reason, my Jeep had the little cover was missing on the driver's side. But word of warning here, I did this bulb replacement on the passenger side about a year ago. I was so stupid that I didn't write down which bulb it was or what model, part number the bulb is. But in doing that, I tried the method of reaching through that wheel well hole, and I believe that there must be a family of rabid bobcats or something living inside there. I don't have huge hands, but they're certainly not small, medium to large size hands. But I would say unless you have hands like E.T. and fingers like that, probably reaching inside that hole is not the best way to do it. I'm not sure that there's a whole lot better way, but there are a lot of sharp edges inside there. It took about, well, several weeks for my hand to finally heal up. I tried it doing gloves, and that didn't work out because I couldn't feel, and you really can't see, so you have to be able to feel. So then I took the gloves off, and that was the problem. If you are going to reach in there, I would say probably the best bet is to have some gloves with the fingers cut out to protect the backs of your hands, but you can still feel with your fingers. But on this side, I'm going to try a different methodology here. I'm going to take the air box out with the snorkel, try to make some room in here, and see if that makes it a lot easier to access the back of that housing so I can get to that bulb and find out exactly what it is. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I had a look inside this access hatch here. Let me get a light. And I've decided to change my mind. I'm actually going to first try to go ahead and reach in there and see if I can get that bulb out. That's actually the back of the bulb that you're looking at there, the blue dot. You can see the connector on the side. So the tabs on the side of that are what hold the wiring on. I'm actually going to try to go ahead and take the bulb out before I remove the wiring. That might not be the right way to do it, but that's what I'm going to try. And if that doesn't work, then maybe I'll go back to my original plan of taking out all the air box and intake snorkel But for right now, I'm going to try it like this. I'm going to go ahead and reach in there and see if I can get it. Sorry, my video cut out. So it may be a little bit of trouble getting the connector back on from within that housing, but I'm going to give it a try. So I'll go ahead and get the new bulb out, try to get it in. I'll let you know whether I put the connector on before screwing it in or screwed it in first and then try to put the connector on. I wish I could show you this, but there's no way I can operate the camera and the pieces at the same time. Plus, you wouldn't be able to see anything anyway. So let me go ahead and get that new one in, and I'll report back how I did it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've got going on here. See the wire hanging out kind of center screen there? That is actually the connector. So I just reached up inside the housing, pulled it out, and it does have quite a bit of slack. So what I'm going to do is snap that connector onto the bulb before I put the bulb back in. So I'll try that now. Okay, so I did in fact snap the connector on the bulb before putting the bulb in. Takes a little bit of finagling, not too bad. The difficulty is to find the hole to slip the bulb into, especially since you shouldn't be touching the bulbs. I hear that if you get some oil or something on it, it can cause it to burst or burn out or something. I don't know if it's true, but I do try to be careful doing that. So anyway, it is in. I'll go ahead and test it, and if that works, then put the access cover back on, and we should be good to go. So this will, if it works, this will end up having been much easier than what I thought. One thing I will mention is that you may notice that I have the wheels turned all the way to the right, and that does give a bit more access to that hole, and certainly would help out. So really, there's no other tricks, but let me test it out. Let's see what it does. All right, so there you go. It does in fact work. Looks good. Looks like the color is about the same as this other one, so I think I got the right one. I'll reach in and put that access cover back on, throw the old bulb away, and I think we're good. Amazingly, this was way simpler than I thought, right, Frank? Frank? It was easy, right? All right, so I got that access cover back on without much trouble. Not sure if you can see where it is. Again, it only turns probably not more than 20 degrees to tighten up, but it's in there, it's on. I'm missing this access hatch, so maybe I'll try to get a new one of those somewhere, but other than that, I'm good. This is the bulb I bought. A replacement bulb was a Sylvania H11. Looks good, works. I did not have to take all this stuff out like some of the other people on YouTube were suggesting, which looked like a lot more work. I did suffer one minor scrape there, which I think if I would follow my own advice and use some gloves with the fingers cut out, that wouldn't happen. This hand has a little bit of scraping on it, but not too bad. So this looks a lot better than the time I did it on the other side. So anyway, that's it. That's my first instructional video. Looks like it went well. Looks like it was easier than I thought it was going to be. So good story all around. Frank's happy. I'm happy. Hopefully you're happy.